Okay, now it's time for your favourite part of the show, which is the puppet show. Let's find out which puppet's joining us today.
Assalamu alaikum, Zainab. How are you doing? Wa alaikum salam, Auntie. I'm just, I don't know, thinking about something my mom just told me today. She was saying that I have to be a good girl and I have to pray and I have to fast and I have to do all this other stuff. Fine, okay, I'm doing all that. But then she says, don't do any sins. Now, how can I do that too, Auntie? I mean, it's hard enough that I have to do all these other things. And then now I have to be careful not to do a bad thing. I mean, I'm human. I'm trying my best. And I can't. I'm too small. It's just too hard for me. Well, Zainab, I think your mom has an important point that she's made. Because Islam is all about doing good things and staying away from bad. That is the essence of what it is to be a pious person, a muttaqi. And that is what all our imams used to always say. They used to say, submit to the command of God and stay away from the prohibited. But that's too hard. It's too much work. It is a bit hard, definitely. There's no doubt about it. But the rewards are great, right? I mean, it's not going to be easy to get heaven. We want to go to the best of places. And it means we have to work a bit hard for that too. I mean, have you seen people who get an A on their test? 90%? Yeah, there are some girls like that in my class. I'm so envious of them. I mean, they're like always first in everything. And then they get all the awards and everything. I mean, it's like, why? Why them? They're so lucky. I wouldn't say they're lucky, Zainab. Luck is when something just happens. Do you think getting good marks on a test just happens? No. You have to work hard for them. You have to actually put in the work. And I'm sure those people who do well in school are the ones who've put in a few good hours of studying and who have memorized and who have practiced. And being a good human being is much like that. It doesn't happen easily. It doesn't happen by luck. People who have become pious and who have elevated their status in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's eyes are the ones who have worked on their nafs, who have worked on their soul. The soul that says, let's be naughty, let's do this, let's do that. But the part of yourself that says, no, I'm not going to be bad, I'm not going to give in. Those are the people who become better and better. And they are the kind of people we look at and we say, wow, they've worked on themselves. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards such people handsomely. Oh, that's so good. I wish I could do that. But it's so much work. I mean, I get tired sometimes, you know. You think it's a lot of work. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His infinite generosity and mercy, you know what He does? When you do a little good thing, He gives you so much sawab for it, so many good deeds, that you do a little work and you get a lot of reward for it. Really? For example, Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam has said that if you see something that's haram, okay, maybe it's stolen, maybe it's a stolen candy, maybe, God forbid, it's haram, it hasn't been cut in the proper zabiha way. And if you say, no, I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to be strong. Yeah, sometimes there's pizza and then there's pepperoni on it. And I want to eat that pizza so badly. I'm so hungry. And then my friends have ordered it. But I say, no, it's haram. I can't have it. And it's hard to be strong, Auntie. It's really hard. Well, Imam says to refrain, to stop yourself from eating even one mouthful of that is more valued than the performance of 2,000 rakats of recommended prayer. 2,000? It's like praying and going up and down, up and down, up and down 2,000 times? Oh my God, Auntie, are you sure about this? Check your notes, man. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows how hard it is for you to stop yourself. And every little effort we make, He pays us handsomely for it. He's the merciful, the generous. Wow. I am going to try so hard that I should do good deeds. I'm really going to try hard. Well, you know what? The important thing, my love, is to continue to do good deeds, okay? You pray your namaz on time, you fast, you listen to your parents, you be good to relatives, you tell the truth, you keep your promises. There are so many ways. You don't be jealous. I mean, there's so many ways that you can attain thawab, good deeds. However, it is said that Imam Ja'far Sadiq alayhi salam has said, you do these good deeds, but do not spoil the rewards of these good deeds by doing a bad deed. What do you mean? What did Imam mean? Does that mean that when I do a sin, it deletes my good deeds? Yeah, it does. I mean, because it's a balance, right? There's a scale. You get all these good deeds, and then you do something bad, and so you delete. And some of these bad deeds are so bad, they can wipe out a whole night's prayer. They can wipe out a whole year's prayer. Oh no! That's awful! So Imam is saying that I should do my best not to do bad deeds, huh? Exactly, just like what your mom said. And Imam says, strive to do good deeds. But if you can't do it, like let's say you want to do a whole night of worship, right? But if you can't, Imam says, at least don't do a bad deed. When you stay away from a bad deed, at least you're not deleting what you started. At least you're not ruining what you've already started and put together. Imam explains that it's a lot like making a building. Have you ever played with blocks? Of course I've played with blocks. Lego, you put one block, then you put another one and another one. I make some really nice structures onto. You should really see. I make these elaborate, huge buildings, and it takes me time, but they look so good afterwards. Everyone's like, wow. Exactly. This is exactly what Imam means. That when you make a building, sometimes it takes long. You have to keep one brick on at a time. You're putting blocks. Making a building is like putting real bricks, right? Like a block, but it's a heavier thing, right? So it's a time-consuming and a difficult thing to do. But when you do it, Imam says that your building is slow, but at least it's getting built. If you don't commit sins and you just keep doing good deeds slowly, your building will grow slowly but surely. However, if you build your building and you're doing good deeds and then you keep continuing to do bad deeds, what happens is you are essentially taking out a brick every time you put one on, every time. Oh man, that's like going backwards. Yeah, that's what Imam says. That it's like a person who's putting the foundation of a building and he keeps spoiling it, keeps ruining the base. And if you ruin the base, you can never make a tall building, can you? No, I mean, everything's built on each other. That's right. So let's do our best not to commit sins. And it's a lot like the day when the Holy Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam told his companions. He told them that every time you say Subhanallah, you get a tree in paradise for yourself, for your shade and to enjoy. Oh my God, I'm going to say it all the time. Subhanallah, 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 Subhanallah. I think I got 5 trees already. Subhanallah, 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 Subhanallah. That's exactly what the Prophet's companions did. They said, wow, Subhanallah, that means we must have millions of trees, Ya Rasulullah, because we say Subhanallah all the time. The Prophet says, yes, that's true, that you are getting lots of trees. But be careful that you're not burning those trees every time you commit a sin. Oh, I get it. So we are building trees up in Jannah, and then when we do a bad sin, we're burning our own trees. We're ruining everything we're creating up there. Exactly, honey, exactly. And let's do our best not to commit sins. And if we cannot do a lot of good deeds, then let's be careful that we're not doing a lot of bad deeds, because otherwise they get deleted. Yeah, they do. So inshallah, let's do our best to become a muttaqi. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves those who are conscious of Him at all times, who are doing their best to do good deeds and are doing their best not to do bad deeds. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.